Hello and welcome to Let's Get Growing, and this is tutorial number 7 and we're in mid-March and quite a lot has happened in the world of nature since the last video 2 weeks ago. So I've got frog spawn in my pond and the days are starting to get a bit longer, and we've had some sunshine and quite a lot of rain, and today we've had hailstones. So it's still, March is still always very unpredictable, but there is lots and lots of things that you could be sowing right now. But just be warned that we still have some quite cold evenings, some frost, so don't be too keen to get your French beans, courgettes and your other frost tender plants underway. But there is still lots and lots that you could be sowing, and we're only showing you a small, selection of things that you can grow, but there's lots and lots of other things, and I will put some resources on other things that you can be sowing this time of year, and I'll put them on the Facebook page. Okay, so we're going to start by having a little look back on some of the things we've done in previous sessions, not everything, but so the daffs are, we've got some daffodil buds here. And you might have noticed lots of daffs are already flowering, but usually that's the second year, and these ones have just been done the first year, so they'd be a bit slower. We've got like 4 buds on there. Another crocus still coming through, and I think these are, that we can see here, are the alliums. So there's 3 allium bulbs in there, which are much later flowering, but they're popping their heads up. And then these are romping away. So these are the hardy annuals, the poached eggplant and California poppy that we repotted in the last pack, and they're doing really well, and they've been outside even with those very cold evenings. The peas are picking up a little bit, that's starting to cling to there. And then here, my sweet peas, they're doing okay. I think there's 5 seeds have germinated out of the 9, so that's always a good lesson in sowing more than you actually need, because they don't always all come up. The wildflowers haven't started germinating yet, and the broad beans that I did 2 weeks ago haven't actually started germinating yet, but if we look under the pot I can see that there is a root there, so I know that there are some signs of life, so I'm just going to be patient. Keep an eye on them and keep them, you need a little bit of water. So also, this has just happened in the last day or 2, my calendulas have started to peep their heads up. So I'm probably just going to lift the lid off a little bit, just to let a bit of air get in, and maybe when they get a bit bigger I'll take that off totally. And finally, this is the stachys. So this was the hardy perennials that we did with a little bit of root on the cuttings. So what I'm thinking now when I look at this is it's got this nice new growth, and I'm thinking, is it time to repot it? So a good way to do this is to have a bit of an investigation. So we don't want to disturb it too much, but I want to have a look at its root system. I can't see anything poking out from under here. I'm just going to have a bit more of an investigation here. So I can see it's got roots here, small roots growing around the side, but it hasn't filled its pot, so this one's fine, it's happy in here for the time being, but I will be keeping an eye on that. Okay, so on to today's pack. So the first thing you should have, so we've had a go with a few herbs before. So we did the parsley in pots, so I think in the next few weeks you're going to get yourself a little herb collection going, and this is a chamomile plant. So we propagated these from the chamomile bed in the medicinal garden from B.F.G. So again, we were talking about a good way to see if your plant needs repotting, so I'm going to turn it upside down, and I can see here the roots are poking through, so that's suggesting to me that this plant would benefit. Yeah, so that's perfect. It's not root bound, but the roots have filled the pot. So the first thing I'm going to do is put it into a bigger pot. So I'm not disturbing this, I'm leaving it like that. If it was sort of root bound I would tease it out a little bit, but I don't think that doesn't need it. So I'm going to about a third fill my pot, and then I'll put my chamomile in the middle, put compost in around it, keeping it central with my other hand. Chamomile's hardy, so you can put these outside with no protection. I'm going to press it down, and then I put the label back in, and I can smell that. And then it just needs the water. And put that over there. And the next thing you should have in your pack is some mixed lettuce leaves. So I'm going to show you a picture. So you've got 6 varieties of lettuce in one mix here. So there's some black, there's a Marvel of 4 Seasons, black-seeded Simpson, Suzanne, there's like a Lola Rossa type, a red salad bowl, and another one that I can't pronounce. But the idea with this having a mixture of lettuce is that you can have like a really nice salad with lots of different coloured leaves and different textures, and you just need to do one sewing. So I'm going to do these mixed lettuce. I've got a fruit punnet, so it's already got holes in the bottom. I'm going to put some compost in, and I've got a good quality peat-free compost here. Sometimes the quality of your plants will depend on what kind of compost you're using and the quality of it. There's quite a wide variety out there. So you should have a pinch of seeds, and that is a lot of seeds because they're tiny, so I probably don't need that many. And if you've got too many, it's better to sow thinly, and you can save them for another sowing in a few weeks' time, and that's called successional sewing. So you always have, you sow small amounts of some vegetables like lettuce and radish, so that you've got a kind of constant supply, and not a big glut of things all at once. So I'll put the seeds into my left palm because I'm right-handed, and then I'm just going to pinch a few out, and I'm just going to try and scatter them on the surface, and you can see all the different colours of the seeds, of the different varieties. And if you sow them too thickly, they're just going to be really difficult to prick out. So I'm just sort of trying to spread them out a bit. And if you're struggling to do that, you could mix it with a little bit of sand. And then I'm just going to put a little layer on top. Press them down gently. And I've got a label, mixed lettuce, and I'll give them a water and make sure that I've got a fine rose on the end of my watering can, because I don't want to flush these seeds out. And a bit of water, and then what I'm going to do is I've got a mushroom punnet which I'm going to use as a propagator until they germinate, and then once they've germinated I will take that off, the same as what I'm doing with the broad beans here. And then the final thing you should have in your pack is some red sunflower seeds, and who doesn't love sunflowers? So these ones they've got red and yellow leaves, Alliums annus, so that just means annual sunflower. You should have quite a few seeds in here. So we're growing these ones. The ones we grew last time were as microgreen, but we're growing these for the actual plants and the flowers this time. So we're going to do something a bit different. Oh, don't blow away. So I've got a seed tray that's divided into compartments, which we call modules. You might not have one of these, but don't worry. I'm just going to show you one thing you could do. So this one's got 8 module. It's an 8 pack. So I filled it up. I'm going to dip a little hole in each one. And then again, I'm going to put my seeds into my left hand. And there are quite a variety of seeds in there, although they're all red ones, but there's quite a difference in their appearance. And then I'm just going to put one seed in each here. And the thing with this is, if they all grow, it saves work later on in terms of pricking out. And it's quite easy to then transplant one of these into a plant pot. But I can we'll see what happens with them. So they want a label, but because just sowing 8 sunflowers isn't very many, and I haven't got space to do loads and loads of modules, so I'm going to do a tray of them as well. So this is just another mushroom punnet, and I've made some holes in the bottom. And again, I'm just going to add some compost. And then I'm just going to put more seeds in here, but because they're quite big seeds, so they're quite easy to sort of handle. And I'm going to do some kind of like little rows. So I've got about 15 seeds in there. I'm going to cover them up, put a label in, press them down a little bit, and give them a water again with the fine rose. And then I've got another see-through mushroom punnet. This time it's got no holes in it, and I'm going to use that one as a kind of propagator top, and I'm going to keep them. It might be better if you had something bigger that can fit down so the wind didn't blow it off, or you could put some string around, but that's going to stay in an unheated greenhouse, so hopefully it won't be too windy in here until they germinate. So I'll keep a check on them. A lot of the seeds, some of the resources that you've got, a lot of them, some of them are things we've propagated on the garden, or seeds that we've sown on the garden, but we have sourced quite a lot of them from this company, which is Seed Cooperative, and they're a community-owned organic seed company, and with open pollinated seeds. So it's worth having a look at their website if you are interested in getting some more seeds and doing some more crops. But I think that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and yep, let us know how you're getting on. I'm loving seeing all your updates on the Facebook page and all your enthusiasm. It's great. Okay, thanks, bye.